Hello, BBC.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
This was their finest hour.
All right, lift off and the clock has started.
The Americans are over the Rhine.
Computers now have primary control of critical functions.
Well, hello, tubers. I trust you're doing well wherever you are in this digital universe we call YouTube. Today we're going to talk about something that is a possibility for all of us YouTube RV nomads, whether you're on YouTube or not, actually, because this can happen to any full-time RVer. And it's what happens when the worst case scenario occurs and you're a long ways from home. I've given this a lot of thought, and I know a lot of people actually don't give it any thought because they have the sense of invincibility. But I will tell you something, when you get a little older in life, you realize your days on earth are numbered, and you got to think about the possibilities of what could happen and how you could deal with it. Now, what I'm specifically talking about is what happens if you're 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 miles from home and you have a severe accident and you are injured and your RV is completely written off. What are you going to do? It's a serious problem. And I actually have seen RVs written off on my travels around North America, and I just cringe for these people when I see it. And I've seen it literally moments after I saw this GMC RV on the Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu completely shredded open like a can opener by a collision with a dump truck. It was just nasty, and you could tell these people were full-timers by all the stuff they had and all the stuff that was ejected. These people weren't on a weekend trip, that was for sure. So what do you do about that, and how do I handle it, and what have I thought about this situation? Now, the first thing that comes to mind is, aside from your medical problems, is all your stuff is going to have to be shipped back home. If you're full-time, you got a lot of possessions, some of them are valuable, and it's got to be shipped back home. That's going to be an expensive proposition. If you have pets, they're going to have to probably be air freighted back home. And of course, insurance claims for your medical problems and for your RV are going to have to be placed. And there's going to be a lot of things that need to be taken care of back at home. So this is how I deal with it. It's called good quality insurance products. First thing that I always carry is travel medical insurance, and it doesn't just cover the medical emergency and the ability to fly me home. No, it covers the cost to get my RV back if it's still drivable. It covers the cost to get my body back if I am deceased. It covers the cost to have friends see you in the hospital if you are deathly ill or if you're about to die. It covers all these incidental things that you may not think about but could happen in an extreme situation. Now, assuming you're still conscious and you are alive, you're probably going to have to delegate somebody to have limited power of attorney to conduct some of your affairs while you're in the hospital recovering. There's going to be no way around this one, so you're going to have to choose and designate somebody you absolutely trust. Now, as for your RV, I highly recommend carrying full insurance, and that includes, you know, at least $1 million or $2 million liability, fire, theft, and more importantly, collision, especially if your RV is worth anything. Now, I understand if your RV is worth almost nothing, or if you're extremely wealthy and writing off a RV isn't really going to be a financial concern for you, you probably don't need to worry about it. But for the rest of us that don't want to take a $30, $40, $50, $80, $100,000 hit, depending on whatever your RV is worth, you need collision insurance. And that way, at least when the calamity is over, you're going to get a check and you can just start fresh and buy another RV or completely get out of the RV lifestyle if that's not your thing anymore. But, you know, the ability to sleep at night knowing that you are insured properly in the event of a total loss is something that you actually should consider. And even simple things like AAA auto RV insurance for your towing, things like that. At least you know that when your RV needs to get towed in the event of an accident, you're not going to have to pay for that expensive tow, especially if you're a long ways from wherever your RV is going to wind up. I think it just makes sense, and it's a small amount of money for a bit of peace of mind. And let's face it, you're going to use it for things like flat tires and breakdowns anyway, so I think it's just a prudent thing to get. Now, another thing, of course, I carry, which you may or may not wish to do so, is life insurance. That way, if you do owe some money on your RV, or you've got children or spouses to think about, you're leaving them not in a big mess of a situation in terms of your estate managing to pay off all your obligations and your final expenses. So that way, you know, you're leaving things in a clean slate for the people that you find most important in your life. So let's face it, a severe accident that involves injury in your RV is going to cause so much inconvenience, not only for the healthcare expenses, but repatriating yourself back home, getting your pets and possessions home, getting the insurance claims all settled. It's a complete nightmare. But at least having insurance takes some of that bite away and allows you to have a little bit more peace of mind. And trust me, I've had these thoughts when I've been away from home many times in the RV, thinking, gee, what would happen if? And you know, you always go to that worst case scenario because it does happen to some people. And I truly wish it wouldn't happen to anyone. Let's face it, we don't live in a fairy tale world where bad things never happen to good people. So I'm going to ask the rest of you, how do you deal with being a long ways away from home in your RV if you are full-time, and how would you deal with it? What insurance products or strategies do you have to deal with this potential problem? So I'd love your thoughts on that. So it's a rainy day here in the Vancouver area. Unfortunately, we had some beautiful weather over the weekend, the last couple days, but we're back to the rain. But in the meantime, folks, I'd like to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving, and stay safe and enjoy your holidays, and I'll talk to you soon. Keep your wheels in the ground.